Greetings and welcome to another round of Master Phil in Your Corner. This is episode number 89. We'll be focusing on nutrition and health. How does the food you eat affect you? So our special guest today is a good friend of mine, Julie Seda, and she's a professor, a wellness and exercise, as well as nutritional expert. And we're going to pick her brain here a little bit on the food that we're putting into our systems and what it's doing to us. But before we get into that, let's thank our sponsors. Number one sponsor, philross.com. Don't forget to check out philross.com for all your training and self-defense needs. Go check us out. We have Health is a Wealth. Go to the healthisawealth.com virtual interactive community outreach platform for all health and wellness needs. Now, we have a whole bunch of other ones too, but you can get everything from healthisawealth.com or actually from philross.com. So, gosh, I know we've had this discussion a little before, but let's let the audience in on what we've been talking about here and how this is, this situation is horrific. And one of the things that brought it to the forefront again was these surgeries and these medications now being recommended for children who are obese.
So did you see 60 Minutes? So I actually haven't talked to you since this. Did you see 60 Minutes?
No, I didn't see it. Okay. All right, here we go.
Yes, here we go is right. So a couple weeks ago on 60 Minutes, like one of the first 60 Minutes of 2023, they had a Dr. Stanford on.
Okay.
And Dr. Stanford is the one who is in charge of the new dietary guidelines. You know how those come out every
years? Yeah.
So for 2025, there's going to be a new set of dietary guidelines.
About time. Sorry.
So this particular doctor, she's in charge of it. She was on 60 Minutes with another doctor whose name is escaping me, but Dr. Stanford's the one in charge. She said on air on 60 Minutes that obesity is genetic. So that obesity is genetic.
That is just a built-in excuse for people.
Not even that. Logic, you have to logically put stuff into perspective, right? So you just yell at people, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
But you have to logically put stuff in perspective. I'm not an evolutionary biologist, but did our biology change so rapidly over the last 200 years?
Not even 200 years. Looking from 1980 to now.
Right.
50% of the people now we have a 50% increase in obesity from 1980s.
Right.
Come on.
So did the genetics change? No. So that's number one. It's ridiculous. So she was saying on 60 Minutes that food and exercise is this part of the pie. It's a pie, and that's garbage.
What kind of pie?
Right, exactly. But that's garbage. It's not this stuff. It's not here. It's genetics. Yes, genetics plays a role. There is some research that it plays a small role with some people. Absolutely. Right.
100%.
But it's not the problem. But this is why this is why, and I told everybody, I'm like, this is it. Because the pharmaceutical companies have found a cure,
of course they have,
for obesity. Is this shot, right? So
another
they're doing the shot, right?
They're
doing the shot, so not like a shot, right? They're doing the shot, and they're saying this is the cure for obesity. So now obesity is going to be in the forefront. There's nothing you can do about it. We're sorry. It's genetics, and it's crap because first and foremost, to even back up further. Just because obesity is a registered disease, which happened in 2019. Okay. So whether that's a good thing or not is regardless, but 20% of people who are obese are actually metabolically healthy. So are you really is obesity really the disease that they're claiming it to be? Or is obesity a symptom of metabolic disease that we should actually be treating with actual nutrition? Okay, so that's even backing up further. Now, this woman, what got just glossed over in the 60 Minutes interview, this doctor, right, Dr. Stanford, just glossed right over in the interview, was that she's been paid by the pharmaceutical companies.
Of course.
So in 2000, I think it was 2022, the statistic, or 2021, she got $31,000. But even on that report, right, which is just propaganda for the pharmaceutical company. My God, I was like, oh, this is bad. It glossed over it. It was her and another doctor who were talking about, we must get these people this medication that they will be on for the rest of their life.
Of course.
For the rest of their life.
Cash cows.
Right.
Literally.
So, and that was it. There was 2 women on. One of them had taken the medication, and then they kind of glossed over the fact that she's going to be on that for the rest of their life. And the other woman was so happy that she was going to get this medication.
Of course she was.
Right. And you know what? It's sad because people who are obese, I firmly believe, like, I know that I'm a little out of camp. I don't think I'm exactly in your camp with it. I firmly believe it's not their fault. I think that our food system is atrocious. And I don't think that just willpower is going to do it. We've tried that. We've tried that for years. It's not working.
Well,
our food system
how
is
come you're not obese?
Well,
How come I'm not obese?
Well, because I grew up with an understanding, and you've been in this industry for 40 years.
There's now let's talk about this.
Right.
Okay, so I have so many issues with this on so many levels. I honestly almost don't even know where to start, but I'm going to start here. First of all, the victimhood that's being put forth. They're capitalizing on this victimhood. It's not your fault. Well, you know what? Okay, yes. And then look back. They said that it's a genetic predisposition. Look, people do have certain genetics that do contribute to their size.
Right.
All right. So what? How come did we evolve or devolve genetically in the past 50 years so dramatically that more than half the people are overweight, and almost half of the people, like 70% of the people, over 70% of the people are overweight, and almost half of them are obese? No, we did not change that radically. Right. In the 1950s, in the 80s, there was 10% of the people, children were obese. Now we have 50. It's ridiculous. So what is going on? So you have to look at, there's a couple of different factors here. One is the food, the quality of food. Okay. So people have to watch out what they eat. Look, I watch what I eat, and that doesn't mean just eating with the light on. Okay.
No, but how do you, okay. So I agree with you. I agree. And there is a huge level of personal responsibility here. First of all, that's not working. In case we could all be aware of that.
But let's say, why is this not working?
Look at our food system. Okay, so if you're on a government-sponsored lunch program, okay, so you're a young child.
ChooseMyPlate.com.
Right, not even that, but if you're say you get breakfast and lunch at school, okay, that's your whatever income level you're at, that's your life, that's what's happening. Do you know what you'll get for breakfast in the morning? You'll get orange juice and Fruit Loops or Lucky Charms.
Breakfast champions.
I mean, let's talk about feeding metabolic disease.
That you're just jacking people up with sugar and processed.
So now you're going to make them feel crap. So even say they're at a healthy weight when they start this roller coaster, then they eat that every morning for breakfast, and then you're giving them lunch. In our school systems, pizza is a vegetable. In our school system, pizza counts as a vegetable. So when you have to have 2 servings of vegetables for your school, like if you're on a school lunch program, pizza counts as a vegetable.
Well, I'm gonna say this right now. If this is true, I want to have a pizza plant,
right?
So that I can go and pick my pizza off of there and throw it on.
So this is 100% true. Is the Amy Klobuchar, you know, that the senator from, you know who I'm talking about, from the senator from Minnesota. Yeah. She's the one who put that through. That's what I tell my students all the time. I said, you know what? I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're a Republican. Your health is for sale on both fronts. And we got to, as a society, come together on this because, again, so now going back to that student, now they've had 2 meals and they feel bad because metabolically they're getting sick every day. So now, are they going to be as active as other kids? Are they going to reach for good food choices? Not to mention how addicting sugar is.
Well, that's the thing. And then once that triggers in your brain, the chemicals in your brain go, gosh, I need more, I crave more, I want more sugar. So you're going to be drawn toward that.
And so that now take that entire generation of kids, right? So because of what we as a society deemed was fit to feed them in our school system, that's all they got to eat. It's not like they had other options. Now, so are they fat and lazy? Or did the laziness come from the metabolic disease that they were exposed to day at school? How are they going to have a chance?
Here's some of the questions that I do have. Is that okay? I'm going to take my grandfather. Not only just use myself. So my grandfather lived to 94.
Right.
Okay. God bless him. Right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I mean, he was active, very, very active. But you know what? He'd have his sausage sandwich. He'd have his pasta. He'd eat his pizza. But he ate salad every day.
Right.
Ate fruit every day. Walked. Did his exercise. You know, was in the garden. You know, and this as an older man. And you know, would have his little bit of wine, nothing in excess.
Right.
Lived to 94. You know, I mean, he was on virtually no medications when he died. He only died because he had a bad fall.
Okay. Well, in 94.
Yeah.
Like
94. I mean, you
Yeah.
won.
Yeah.
You know, sign me up tomorrow. I won.
Exactly.
Okay.
You won it. But think about
And
what
then-
his food was compared to what ours.
Right. That's what I'm saying. The quality. But now, even when I was a kid, I mean, we had Wonder Bread. Right? It's supposed to be the best. It's garbage.
That's so good for
But
you.
okay. And then honestly, you know, I'd have Twinkies, this, that, and the other thing. And if you know, my dad was obese and died.
Oh, I didn't
because
know
of-
that.
Yeah. He was 2 inches shorter than me, 100 pounds heavier.
Wow.
Yeah. So you know what? We have
Interesting.
the gene in my family. It's just
Right.
decided that I was
Gene
going
is
to fall
not
through it.
destiny.
Yes.
That's another thing. Genetics are not destiny. Now, some are, right? Like you're born with type 1 diabetes, and that's
Well, that's it. You have no choice.
right. But genes are not your destiny. Cancer, we're finding out, is not genetic to the point where we thought it was. Absolutely no. But when we load, so what does it always say? Like genes load the gun, right? Lifestyle pulls the trigger.
Right.
So you knew the gun was loaded, and you
Oh,
were
yeah.
like, absolutely no, this is
Right.
not the path I want to take in my life.
Absolutely.
Right, which was a great choice, and like good, I'm glad. But there's kids that aren't even getting to make that choice.
Yeah.
Because they're too far along.
Well, that's the thing too, is that we have to put forth the proper food choices in the schools. I know that again, not to get political, and not that I really support either one, but Michelle Obama had a good idea, but I think went about the wrong way, and then
she failed.
She failed,
and she tried.
Right. I'll
She
give her
tried,
credit.
but she failed, and this is why she failed. She failed because when she first started with the whole Let's Move campaign, it was supposed to be let's push the food companies to do something. She knew, Michelle Obama is not a dumb woman. She knew that the processed food was killing us.
Yes.
She knew that. And because of that, she tried this campaign. But what did the food companies do? What did they do? Let's help you out. Let's help you out. We're going to help you out. We're going to help you with this. You can't. You're the problem. You can't. And I understand that she folded to the lobbying dollars, because by the end of the presidency,
it was over.
It wasn't even over. It was a focus on exercise. Get that out of your head. You cannot out-exercise this food. You cannot. Exercise. I love exercise. You know me.
Yeah.
I love exercising.
You and I
all
both.
of the
We
things.
work out every day.
Yes, I work out every day. It's very, very important to me. But you're not going to out-exercise the atrocious food that we are consuming right now.
So okay, you're in shape. I'm in shape. We obviously make better food choices. Why aren't other people doing the same thing?
Well, also, we're both in shape, and I agree with that. Do you have metabolic disease? Have you had your liver enzymes tested? Probably you are, because I feel like you're really conscious about what you eat, and I'm really conscious about what I eat.
My numbers are like excellent.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but we live in this space. This is because we live in this space, and I live in this space. It is hard. So I have 2 kids, right? I have a 2-year-old and I have a 7-year-old. And you want to first, and I got a full-time job, right? Like the whole 9 yards. And you want to look for something that's easy. And I try, but it's a minefield out there in the grocery store.
Difficult, very difficult, especially when kids are influenced by what's offered at school and what their friends are having.
Yeah.
And the only way I feel to move something forward and get it done is to hit them in the pocketbook. And when people just stop buying the crap,
That would be amazing.
This is the big movement that we have to really put forth. I mean, and I will tell you this: when I go to the store and I shop and I look at what I have in my cart, and I look at what's on the belt,
Right.
and then I look at someone who's obese and the food choices they make are horrific. Now, here's the thing: why are they making these choices? I mean, people, here what they call us is they call us a health nut. They call us a fitness nut, right? Just like people call someone a gun nut. Whatever you want to say, is like, why are they saying that? They are automatically making us seem odd because they don't want to do it, or maybe because they don't want to exercise the discipline to do it. They don't want to make the hard choices. And you know what? After a certain point in time, and I will tell you people this, after a certain point in time, after eating healthy, you can't eat the garbage. It will not sit with you. Like if ever I went, I'm like, and if I ever have it, I can't eat a donut.
Well, like I could eat a donut from a bakery. You know what I mean? Like
Dunkin' Donut or something.
No,
I can't have it. It would sit in my stomach. I get halfway through it and it would be laying on me, or like a Popeye's fried chicken.
Yeah,
I did it. Okay, tasted good. For a couple of bites, sat on me. It was horrific.
Yeah, Popeyes, that's rough.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of fried chicken actually, so that's like, but
I'm using like an example. I actually did a taste test between Popeyes fried chicken and Chick-fil-A.
Which one?
Well, Chick-fil-A wound up winning. But Popeyes, the first bite or two was better.
Yeah.
And then you look but when I ate the whole Chick-fil-A, I felt actually a lot better than I did when I ate the Popeyes.
Right, their ingredients and stuff is it, so back to like the shopping carts and the obese person. But so say the obese person was like, you know what, you're right, and I'm gonna do it. But what are they gonna do? Here's where becomes extraordinarily problematic for them.
Okay.
So they're used to buying Entenmann's donuts and Coca-Cola and all this stuff, right? Okay, so you're like, this is bad news. You need to cut out calories, blah, 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 blah. You say that to them. They buy into it. Then they start buying diet soda. Right?
No.
But this is what they're going because that's what the food industry trains us to do. If keto is popular, they will have processed pieces of keto garbage.
Yeah, the reason that was I think that's a garbage diet.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Well,
works for some people, but
no. There are certain people that should be on it.
Right.
Most of us shouldn't.
I agree. It's a weird diet, but if you do keto and you do real food keto, congratulations to you. You're cutting your risk of metabolic syndrome. Like meaning like if you actually eat meat.
Yeah.
And you eat cheese or whatever, but you actually eat like real food, that's different. But what our food system does, as you saw this, I saw this a lot because I was a vegan for a while, remember?
Yeah.
Did that thing.
Yeah,
exactly. Did it. Okay. Not a vegan anymore. But you know why I started being a vegan? Because I got kidney stones when I was pregnant with Luke. So I passed like 6 kidney stones pregnant with my first son, and that really hurt. So I was like, you'll give up meat for a while for that.
It's ridiculously painful from what I understand. Thank God I've never had them.
Yeah, knock on the wood. That was really painful. So I did the vegan thing, but then I noticed, first of all, I gained a lot of weight. Interesting. I was about 15 pounds heavier. Now I was athletic. I did the half Ironman. I did my thing. I was still healthy, but I didn't look the way I wanted to for whatever, my numbers weren't exactly the way I wanted to. And health nuts, we do tend to be perfectionists in that particular realm. But I noticed there was processed vegan food.
A lot.
But that's how the food companies get us.
Yeah,
so they'll take an obese person and the obese person will say, I want to change. And we'll be like, great. And then they'll look for healthy options at the store. The only healthy options at the store are along the sides, right? Yep. Your produce section, right? Maybe
it needs to be refrigerated. Pretty much.
Pretty much, because it's not processed pieces of garbage, and they don't know. And it's not like you're not educated, you don't know, because I know tons of educated people that don't know.
And the funny thing is another thing, people will become vegan on ethical reasons.
Right.
And yet more animals are killed,
Right.
for the vegan
Right. Well,
production
they're
and the
still
farming.
like putting,
Why do you think the seagulls and crows are always behind the
Right.
the
vegan-
tractors?
right.
Why? Because all the little frogs and toads and snakes and mice and voles and moles and everything are being
Yeah.
all chopped up.
Right. Well, when
Oh,
you-
and put in their food anyway.
right. But when you eliminate a food group, when you eliminate a total food group, it can be very problematic.
Yes.
It
Look,
can be. Some people thrive on it. I've known vegans who they're stuck there. That's it. That's what they do. And you know what? If you eat real food, that's what I tell all my students. If you eat real food, don't eat meat. Fine, 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 fine. Right? If you want to do keto, but you're eating real food, fine. If we could just get everybody away from the processed
stuff. Well, it's funny. This is along the same vein, but when we're talking about like what you should eat, I mean, if I base what I eat on gut length.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Right.
So
Feed the gut, protect the liver.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. So if you look at an herbivore, like a cow, a moose, an elephant, whatever,
right,
proportionally, their intestine is very, very large. It's very long,
right,
because it has to, get the nutrients from the vegetable matter. Okay.
right.
You got a lion. There's a short. They're pure carnivores.
Okay.
Look at a bear. Proportionally, our gut is the same length as a bear.
And they eat fruits and they eat
there you go. They eat
whatever.
about 20%. They eat about 20% animal protein.
Okay.
The rest is berries, fruits, grass. Boom. So I tend to eat like a bear.
Wow. That actually makes a lot of sense, because if you did that, 20% animal protein, then eat the fruit. It's wild about it, because when you do you track your macros?
I don't do anything anymore.
So I still do, because I find it fascinating, right? And I have goals that I hit. So I'm eating to protect my liver. So I'm not eating processed garbage, and to feed my gut, because ultimately we're just giant hosts to millions of bacteria. So let's do that.
Let me just before, because I might forget.
Right.
Do you take a probiotic?
No.
And do you ever use milk thistle? And do you think it has benefit?
No, I don't supplement. I'm not a supplement person. I take protein powder in the morning with my shake, and that's the only supplement, or and I know that that's processed. So I'm kind of thinking, how can I move away from that?
You want to take protein that's not processed? I mean, egg white powder or egg powder?
But it's still processed. I mean, egg powder doesn't come out of a chicken.
No, it's true.
You know what I mean?
Squeeze them hard enough, it might.
Exactly. I mean, I could just switch to regular food, but I'm very aware of that.
Okay.
Yeah, but I know I don't supplement, because I'm a really big believer in food. I eat food, I don't have a lot of issues, right? This is a little wild too. I went to the doctor Monday, just a regular checkup, right? This woman, I'm not gonna say what doctor it was. It was a new doctor, because my doctor had retired, so I had to go to this new female doctor. I didn't have to, but I signed up to go. She really, really wanted to put me on medication.
Oh, we're going to talk about that then, because I'm going to tell you what happened to me.
Yeah, she asked me, did I have trouble concentrating? Yes. Did I have trouble concentrating? And I was like, oh, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Isn't that wild? We hit a certain age and people want to medicate us.
I come in. My doctor retired, right? So I had a female doctor. She was great. She's actually teaching now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She's out in Western Jersey.
Oh, that's cool.
And then so a new doctor come in, and she gives me. I said she asked me about the COVID shot, and I go, I took the vaccine. So, oh, which one? I go J&J. I could tell she was disappointed. Oh, okay. And then she goes, you get the booster? Oh, I'm sorry. Prior to that, she asked me, oh gosh, you'll be 60 in a couple of months. This is.
Oh, that's right.
She said, oh, do you how is your mood? Are you depressed? Or this, that? Went through this whole, do you need any medication? I'm like,
same. I got the same speech.
First of all, I started getting annoyed right then. I go, well, you know what? I'm getting anxious right now because you're asking these questions. I'm getting annoyed. I'll tell you straight up. I go, I don't need any of your garbage. Yeah. And then it came with the whole thing about the COVID and why I didn't get the booster. I looked at it, I go, because I don't need it.
Right.
I go, I had COVID. I had colds that were worse. So guess what? I said, this is my last time in here, and I just left.
Well, also, like we found out that COVID boosters are not stopping
Oh, come on.
transmission. So leave us alone.
Yeah.
If you want to die,
Go ahead.
live your life and die.
Yeah. You want to
Right, which is fine.
you want to get myocarditis, pericarditis, go ahead.
Right, exactly. Like
Knock
pick your
yourself out.
poison, right?
Knock
But
yourself
that's what
out.
they do. Like I was shocked. This is never. It was a valley, by the way. Were they at a valley?
No, that well, maybe it's at that valley. I guess
Yeah,
like
that's a valley group.
Yeah,
They're all
yeah.
valley groups.
Well, we're probably gonna get pulled down from YouTube because of this, because I got last time I spoke to this stuff, it got yanked down. But we'll see. Yeah.
Then edit it out, make like a non.
No, I don't care.
Version.
I'll tell you what, I look at it as a badge of honor. If they're gonna go do that nonsense to us,
I don't think they do that much anymore. I don't. Maybe they do.
They did to me a few months ago.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a shame because
I know.
That's the whole point of podcasts is to, if somebody wants to listen to us, like listen to us. Like I'm not claiming to be a doctor. You're not claiming to be a doctor. This is what we're thinking. Exactly. So like but I would love to hear more stories of people that, because it's the first time. So 40, I'm going to be 42 in like a couple weeks.
And they're trying to get you on SSRIs. Awesome
They were like, they wanted to get me on Adderall. That was a big thing that they wanted to get me on. And she was very, very pushy about it. And I'm like, she's like, well, you said you had trouble concentrating. I'm like, no, I'm getting my doctorate. I have to stare at a computer all the time, no, leave me alone. And then the worst part was, so she tried that, and then she wanted to get me on something for depression. I forgot what it was.
Oh my God.
But she was big in pushing that. And then the original girl had forgotten to take my blood pressure. So then she comes in to take my blood pressure.
Blood pressures.
It's like 148 over, and my blood pressure is 90 over 60, like clockwork, 90 over 60, 90 over, and it was like 140, and she was like, and I'm like, no, like, because like
you just pissed me off. I mean, mine is usually 107 over 70,
But now she wants to put me on blood, and I was like, it was blood pressure medication, and then it ended with she wanted to put me on birth control. And by the time I was done, I was like, I'm done. I'm leaving.
But here's the thing: most people will acquiesce,
right? Well, because they think, and again, but then so it goes back to like the people. Like our system is so corrupt. Do we blame the people? Do we blame the person who doesn't know, who thinks their doctor knows best?
Yeah, I'm gonna blame them. You know why? They should be listening, and they should be exploring other avenues.
They should be.
You know what? The thing is, this is your health. It's your body. You have one body for the rest of your life. You got to know what you put into it. You got to know what you put it through, and you got to know who's providing you your care. Oh. Look, don't be afraid. I walked out of the doctor. Don't be afraid to walk out. Question things.
I didn't walk out.
All right. Yeah, I go, I'm done.
Well, I wanted her to finish the visit, right? Like females got to do some stuff. I had her to
said, okay, I get it.
Then I left the visit and will never go back to this doc. It's a strange world out there, and I genuinely feel bad for people who, because it's their lives.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about. It's their life, and I want to go, and I see moms give their kids sodas, and then I see them give them juice, and you see these internet videos with like they're giving a little kid cotton candy, and the little kid with cotton candy is like freaking out, and it's like, no, what are you doing? That's not funny. Like it's not. And look, your kid's gonna eat cotton candy. I get that. Like my kids eat cotton candy every once in a while, but like
you can't do it every day.
You can't do it every day, and you can't be introducing stuff like that to kids so little. Like the soda. It's
the worst. I don't keep it in the house.
No.
And then but like my daughter, when she's like 13-year-old, she'll grab a Coke with someone or whatever. I can't stand that.
I would, like Luke has tried them a couple times because we've been at parties, we've been at places, and they've had them, but it's soda. Interesting fun fact that's also come out. Soda does as much liver damage as alcohol.
Hey, listen. If I'm gonna get liver damage, I'm gonna get it from alcohol.
Same.
Okay.
Same. 100% same. I'm gonna get it from alcohol. I agree. So, but now think about that. Soda is offered in most schools.
Oh yeah.
Right. So even like circling all the way back to the 60 Minutes lady, Dr. Stanford, with the 2025 guidelines. How do you think that policy is made in our school system, in our hospitals, in our prisons?
It's all driven by the pharmaceutical companies.
But it's all driven by these guidelines. Yep. And this woman is now in charge of these guys. And I'm not saying because she's not the first bad actor in the series,
and not the only one.
Right, not the only one. She's not
She's
the first
part of a-
one. She's part of this. That like the far that's what killed me. So
Yeah.
that's what killed me about the COVID shots. So whatever you think about the COVID shots, you had de Blasio, first of all, on TV
Sorry.
talking about get your COVID shot and you'll get this hamburger from McDonald's.
And how about the Krispy Kreme, the free Krispy Kreme?
My head was exploding.
I remember we were talking about my head was going to blow off. Oh, so here, these people are probably more susceptible to the ill effects of COVID because they're obese. And now you're going to just pump more sugar into their system.
Right.
Yeah, good job.
So with the obesity thing too, so like I said when we first started, 20% of obese people are actually not metabolically sick. So then what are you treating? Or is it all vanity? I don't know. You know, I personally know obese people that work out and that are not metabolically sick. And they are obese and that's just who they are. And you know what? Live your freaking life. You know, live your life because your weight is your business and it's not my business.
You know what's funny? I've had people who, many people in my time I've trained, who have lost globs of weight through proper nutrition and work and training and exercise. You know, I mean, I have yet to see, and I'm throwing this out there, and I've trained thousands of people.
Right.
I have yet to see anyone who's followed the guidelines and failed.
Right. Well, but have you then followed up? Like, so they follow the guidelines, they've succeeded. Is that lifelong success?
Well, if they stick with it, yeah. Like if I've had them for years, they've been good for years. And if they go off it, well, then if you stop exercising and eating right, you're going to put the weight back on. I can't help that. Now, and I've had people that are with me a number of years that have done exceptionally well, and then other ones who've fallen off. Well, then.
Yeah, but so take an alcoholic, or let's even go, let's take like a drug addict, right? Let's take a heroin addict, let's take a cocaine addict. Let's put them in a program. You're in this safe spot now. You're with this person. I'm with you all the time. You're doing really, really well. Okay, now life happens. They can't go to you anymore for some reason, right? Like they move, something happens. But they're in an environment where if they go to get anything from the grocery store, or okay, the grocery store is a bad example. If they're getting something from Home Depot, there's cocaine at the cash register. If they're getting something from Best Buy, there's cocaine now. Right? But look at what's at but look at what's shopping. Exactly. Look at what's at the cash register when you go to Home Depot. There's Twizzlers, there's M&Ms, and then they go to Staples and there's that stuff, and then they go to get gas, and then if there was heroin and cocaine in all those places, you would be like, well, that person had what were they going to do? We would have much more sympathy for that person for failing. And that's why I'm saying we got to change as an entire society.
That's what I'm talking about.
Bad.
Well, yeah, but the only way to get it done is to stop buying it. And
I agree.
And that's it. If we stop buying it, they're going to stop making it. They're going to make other things. But the thing is that, you know what? It's going to take some pain.
They're going to make other things. That's the thing. Kellogg's is not going to just be like, oh, let's just sell these people some grilled chicken. They're going to re-engineer processed food, and it's still going to be rubbish. And that's the problem.
Well, if it is, then we have to. Then you know what? These smaller people have to come up with it. Of course, they're trying to
they smash these people out.
They smash them.
Yeah.
You know. But you know, we have to. Actually, it's got to be a revolt. It's got to be a revolution on this, or it's not gonna happen.
That's actually a really good. Like that's the thing. Like that, and that's what I do. I last year at Black History Month, I made a speech about. Like Coca-Cola specifically, wildly evil company.
It's disgusting.
Targets minorities.
Of course.
Like they spend like 10 times more money on advertising to African Americans, to Hispanics, and then they come out and they give money to Black Lives Matter. Black Lives does not matter to you. Like that is a lie. You are killing people.
Well, to me, that's a double lie.
Well, whenever you think of that, like that's a lie. Black lives don't matter to you. You are killing them.
You're shortening them.
Yeah, on purpose for
profit,
nickel. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, and they do that, and it's relentless.
Nickel over millions of people makes a lot of money.
It does, but they're relentless, and you gotta see the statistics. If you are a white child and you are watching TV compared to if you are a black child and you are watching TV, if you are a black child, you're seeing 10 times the advertisements for soda. Think of how susceptible we are.
Of course.
And then they're exposed to this. What are they going to do?
Well, look at watch anytime you put sports on.
Right? That's annoying.
All
Yeah.
types of garbage
Mhm.
shoved down your throat.
Mhm.
You know what? I mean, we have to really, there has to be, someone's got to come up
Somebody's gonna stand up.
with stand up. And you know what? And honestly, this is where individuals have to do it. Individuals, look, you have to stand up. You have to say something. You have to stop buying this crap. You want to save yourself. You want to save your kids. You want to live a better life. The only way to do it is to force these people to change. And you know what? If they go down, they go down. It's not my problem. Then they better start putting forth proper food with
Right.
proper nutritional value.
Well,
Instead of
like,
crap.
well, just the outside, then that's the easiest way to think. And to know that if you fail, because I fail all the time, and that's what I tell people, like, I'll go to the store and I'll want that to work.
Mhm.
You know, I'll see a vegan protein shake and be like, yeah, yay. And I'll spend $4 on the stupid vegan protein shake only to flip it over when I get home and realize that I'm killing my liver and I'm not feeding my gut.
Well, what people have to do when I go through there, I look at
I don't
the
even go
labels.
into the like I stay on the outside of the grocery store. I go in for random things, you know, like pasta, so whatever it happens to be. I do buy some snacks for my kids, but I'm really trying to limit that, mainly fruits, cheeses for them. Like, and I'm not a huge dairy fan, but look, at some point we got to figure out where the evil line is in your house.
Well, you know, so of course you have like baked chips or something. Try to make it as healthy as you can. But what do you think? What do you think the difference is between like a pork rind that doesn't have any?
So it's like, what is done to this food? So
Right.
there's two different types of, like, there's nutrition, which I used to think that was like my specialty, but then I'm realizing that there's food science, which I don't know anything about really. And that's what's happening from the ground to the mouth.
To the mouth.
And nutrition is what happens to the mouth in the body.
Yeah.
Right? Food science is what happens from the ground to the mouth. And that's where we really it's
we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't.
So like our pork rind, I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. Like, but they're, first of all, I don't think they're feeding the gut.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? But are they a snack? Like and I don't buy light, low fat. No, because all that is just a chemical, you know what show. Like that's just bad. So for my kids, like I buy them a bag of chips.
Yeah.
Right. And but I'm really stressing, especially to the 7-year-old. The 2-year-old, let's be real, I have no control over it. It's bad.
Whatever. They put crayons in their mouth after that.
Exactly. The 7-year-old though, it's like, okay, you have a snack. And then like lately he's been having chocolate covered almonds. Speaking of, did you see the Tufts food compass? Oh, look it up.
I gotta look it up.
So the Tufts food compass is put out by Tufts. And again, this is another thing that like nobody heard about. So why does it really matter?
Include this and this Dr. Stanford?
Right. So include the Dr. Stanford 60 Minutes link.
60 minutes.
So that was on 60 Minutes. Include that.
And the Tufts.
It's the Tufts food compass.
Food compass. I'm gonna put those as attachments.
Okay. So the Tufts food compass will blow your minds. Like it was put up by Tufts University. Okay. I forgot, it was $2 million or something they spent on putting this together. The government asked for it.
Okay.
They ranked food, like healthy food, not healthy food. You know, and it was there's green, yellow, and red. So to be encouraged, to be eliminated, you know, to be limited, to not eat, right? Like that whole thing. Kale's at the top. I love kale. Watermelon is up there.
I love watermelon. I hate kale.
Kale's fine. Kale's fine, right? Like, but kale's good for you. We can all agree on that. Yeah. The third item or something like that is frosted mini wheats. I'm not even messing with you.
After watermelon and kale?
Yeah. An egg. A poached egg. We're not even talking about an egg fried in butter. A poached egg is like in the yellow towards the poached egg is below orange juice, is below frosted mini wheats, is below Cheerios. What? You think I'm making this up, right?
Yeah.
This is so astronomical.
Ridiculous.
You look it up.
Oh, yeah, well, now they're trying to say eggs are bad.
They swung eggs swing constantly. Yeah. Eat real food. You know eggs are real food.
Bears eat eggs.
Well, but eat real food. If it's real food, you're going to be okay, which brings you back to your grandfather. He was eating real food, even when he was eating processed food, because we all eat processed food because cooking is processing, right? So he was eating processed food, but it was so much different.
So much different.
It was
Well,
so
also,
different.
he also had a garden that he grew all those food
Right.
in.
My grandfather did too. That's
And
funny.
he had in the winter, right?
Yeah.
He had old doors, like he only kind of made his own greenhouse.
Right.
It was like
That's
kind of,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he would open up the doors,
Right.
for construction sites, and
Right.
get the old doors.
That's
and
cool.
He grew them all through the whole winter.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
I mean,
cool.
because that's real food right
Yeah,
there. That's real. But so again, with the Tufts Food Compass, think of yourself as somebody who doesn't live in this space. We live in
Right.
this space. We cannot assume. First of all, I always hate when people assume what
Yeah.
other people think, because you don't know.
No. Well, yeah.
But we can't assume they know.
Okay.
Tufts University told people that frosted mini wheats are better than an egg. So our
Okay.
students would look at that.
Right.
Anybody would look at that and
Right,
think,
I think.
I'm going to have frosted mini wheats and orange juice. Like, and you know how I feel about juice. Like,
Yeah.
it's like soda. My head was, I was like, no, this can't be happening.
Okay.
It's happening.
Here you bring up an interesting point that I want to drive forward. So, well, we can't expect them to know. You know what? We have the law. People have to learn that. We have money. People have to learn how to handle money. Okay. And you know what? You have to learn about the food you're putting in your system and exercise too. You have to do it.
How many people are actively trying to confuse you about the law? Yeah, there's some bad actors.
Look at Congress.
No, I know, but like in reality, like it's not like you're driving down the street and there's a speed limit sign that says 50, and then there's one 20 minutes later that says or not.
Actually, you know what?
Second later.
Actually, no, that's like a pullover down in Virginia. So,
no, and again, and wasn't that wildly confusing for you?
Yes.
Because which one do I listen to? 70% of the food studies out there are sponsored by the food companies. They are confusing the water on purpose. They are murking the water up on purpose. It's bad.
We got to keep talking about this and keep getting this out there.
Yeah.
Because we have to have a revolution here of food, and we have to push back. And I'll tell you, until you hit them in the pocketbook, nothing's going to happen.
Well,
you have a book to show.
I do. So this is not my book at all.
No.
And Robert Lustig. So this is called Metabolical. I have to say it's one of the worst reads I've ever read, just because like the dude's super detailed about it. But it's worth it if you're like really into it. This guy, it's worth a read. If you look, like, I mean, I had to listen to this on tape, plus highlight it, plus refer to his online stuff just to really understand.
Wait a minute. If you take an Adderall, you'd have had no problem.
I know. I would have gotten it done in like a day. I would have fell off a cliff and been depressed the next day, but
hey, you got through the book.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, this is just fantastic, great information. We definitely got to do another follow up on this too.
Yep.
But people, let's thank you, Julie, for coming on today.
I hope it helps. I hope so. Like we need change.
Yes, we do. We need change.
We need change.
People, we need change, and you know what? It's up to you to take the bull by the horns and make sure it's a real bull and not a fake bull, because we need real food.
Exactly. Not a highly processed bull.
Yeah. Oh, there's plenty of highly processed bull out there. All right, guys. Thank you for listening in. Master Phil signing off. Strength and honor.